Good afternoon, student. Today our topic is oxidation reduction. It is a general topic. Normally in chemistry, basic concept of chemistry, you are going to get this topic. So generally we are going to understand this what oxidation and reduction is, and we just going to learn how we are going to calculate the oxidation state, oxidation number of the given compound, of the given atom in the compound, right? Given central atom in the compound, we are going to understand oxidation number as well after this. So first we will go for oxidation and reduction. So very easily we can understand this oxidation. We just remember these things first about the oxidation. First, so here very oxidation is nothing but, so very easily we can understand this. See, oxidation is just add the things. First addition of oxygen. If we are adding oxygen into any compound, it is oxidation. If we are adding oxygen, then I have to go for removal of electron. Removal of first I'll say removal of hydrogen. So either I am adding oxygen or I am removing hydrogen from the given compound. Then it is considered as oxidation. Then removal of electron is also oxidation. So either I have to add the oxygen or remove hydrogen and remove electron. Any of these things if you are doing, consider as oxidation. Simple. Hope you understand. Then we have one more thing, that is next part, reduction. Reduction is exactly opposite of oxidation. Exactly opposite of oxidation. So here we are adding oxygen, no? So we should say removal of oxygen. And here we are removing hydrogen, no? So here we are adding, that is addition of hydrogen. Last one, as we are saying removal, here we are going to add the addition of electron. So these things are quite easier to remember. If you remember what oxidation is exactly, then the opposite of that is going to be reduction. So normally in a reaction, if you go for a particular reaction, for example, in a particular reaction where we are having both oxidation and reduction, if I am writing a reaction, and in that reaction both oxidation is taking place and reduction is also taking place simultaneously, that reaction is called as redox reaction. For example, if I write this, suppose I am writing this reaction, for example, zinc plus copper 2 plus, suppose this is a reversible reaction in which the product is also going to be converted into reactant. So in this we can say zinc, it is converting into zinc 2 plus copper. See, if you see, mostly when we are writing, better we understand the things oxidation and reduction in the given reaction by using this term. Very easily we can understand. Even if the reaction is not balanced, if the reaction is quite balanced, suppose if we are writing a total balanced reaction, then no need, we can go for this one and this one as well. But if the reaction is not even balanced, then better we go with this removal or addition of electron to understand the reduction and oxidation. So here if you see oxidation, so oxidation, see, if I go for zinc is converting into this thing. So the oxidation state of zinc over here is 0 and here 2 plus. So that means the electrons are removing over here. How the electrons are removing, that we'll discuss. I'll explain that as well. So 0 to 2, that means removal of electron. Removal of electron is nothing but oxidation. Here they are having less electron, 2 plus 2, 0. So here electrons are going to be added from here to there. This copper to that copper in the product. From reactant to product, copper is gaining electron, addition of electron. What I said addition of electron is called reduction. So reduction, simple we say reduction. So oxidation, this particular reaction where the oxidation and reduction is taking place simultaneously, that means it is a redox reaction. This is a redox reaction. So if any reaction in which you are saying both oxidation and reduction is taking place, then you must say that reaction as a redox reaction. Now after that we are going to learn how to calculate the oxidation state, what oxidation state actually is. So the next topic is going to be the oxidation state, that I am going to explain what exactly oxidation state. So for oxidation state we must know what oxidation and reduction. That is why I explain oxidation and reduction first, and I just explain about the redox reaction as well. Then we are going to go for the calculation and we can understand what oxidation number is. Okay, so I'll just write over here for the oxidation number now. So I'm just putting these as it is, oxidation reduction, so that you can see. Now here we are going for oxidation state. Oxidation state. Oxidation state. It is also called as oxidation number as well, or oxidation number. Anything you can say. Oxidation number. So I'll explain you this by taking some examples, right? Now suppose if I am saying one element, like simple element I am writing over here, carbon. So how many electrons we have in the carbon? We know atomic number of carbon is 6, number of proton is 6. That means 6 number of electron is also present. So in carbon we have 6 electrons. 6 electrons. So that means the number of electron which is present in the carbon should be 6. So if they are having the equal number of electron which they need to have, then the oxidation of that carbon is going to be 0. So the number of electron around them which has to present, if present, then the oxidation state or number is going to be 0 for that element. Suppose if I am writing zinc, in that zinc there are equal number of electrons are present. Like how many number of electrons are there in zinc? 30. So if 30 electrons are present in the zinc, then oxidation state of zinc is going to be 0. Suppose I am removing 2 electrons from the zinc. I am removing the 2 electrons from the zinc. Then zinc becomes what? Removal of 2 electrons. After removing 2 electrons, I am going to add charge on the zinc, 2 plus. After removing 2 electrons, how many electrons remaining we have in the zinc? That is 28. Now oxidation state is going to be plus 2 on the zinc. Suppose copper, if I have normal copper. So in normal copper we have only number of electrons, that is 29. And if I have equal number of electrons, then oxidation state is going to be 0. If they are losing the electron, after losing electron they become, suppose copper 2 plus, then the oxidation state of copper is going to be plus 2. In the same way, if I take cobalt 3 plus, that means oxidation state of cobalt is plus 3. So in the compound also, in the compound where we are not seeing that plus. Suppose if I have this oxygen, okay, oxygen O2 minus, if you are seeing, that means oxidation state of oxygen is minus 2. That is oxygen having 8 electron. Now we are putting 2 minus on that. If you are seeing 2 minus over there on the oxygen, then it is nothing but addition. It is taken 2 electron already. So 2 electron taken means oxygen is having 2 extra electrons. That is mentioned by minus 2. So 2 extra electron minus 2. This is going to be the oxidation state of oxygen. If we are seeing only oxygen without any charge, that means 0 oxidation state. In the same way, if I have fluorine with 1 minus, that means oxidation state of fluorine is minus 1. So by seeing the compound, on the compound itself we have charge, directly we can go for the oxidation and number and oxidation state. But if they are not giving the charge in the compound, if they are present in the form of compound, then what is the oxidation state? That we have a method to calculate. For example, for a basic example, I am taking a simple compound over here, water, H2O. So what is the oxidation state of oxygen? Suppose they are asking. If you are looking for the oxidation state of oxygen, this one, oxidation state of oxygen, because we are not seeing the charges on the oxygen, but we must know the oxygen, the structure of the compound is actually like this: oxygen with one hydrogen, another one with hydrogen. Now here we know that in this compound oxygen is the central atom, okay, central atom. Now hydrogen. If you see the difference, oxygen is quite highly electronegative compared to hydrogen. So we know that when they are forming the bond, they are sharing the electron. This oxygen is having one electron, hydrogen is sharing one electron in this bond. So So in this bond is also they are having two bond. So oxygen is sharing two electron and forming the bond. Fine, we know that. So in that way, if you see, because oxygen is having electronegativity, high electronegativity, these two electrons are moving towards the oxygen. That means whenever we are going to dissociate this compound, whenever we are dissociating this compound, oxygen is taking their own electron, as well as they are taking the electron of two hydrogen. One electron they are taking from this hydrogen, one electron they are taking from this hydrogen. So minus one. That means they get minus 2. And hydrogen they are losing the electron. Each hydrogen becomes H plus. So what is the oxidation state of oxygen over here? Minus 2, because they are going to take the 2 electron because of high electronegativity. In the same way, hydrogen is going to take, give 1 electron plus 1. So here also plus 1 for this hydrogen. So this is how we can understand the oxidation state if we are drawing the structure of the given compound. In the same way, I will give one more example so that we can understand for the structure of the given compound. Suppose I am having this. Suppose I am going for one example like H2SO4. Suppose we are taking this example sulfuric acid. Now if I explain this sulfuric acid, so in this structure, after writing this structure I can explain. I will explain this structure, then we will go for the calculation part. Okay, now suppose if I go for H2SO4. For this compound, see, central atom is sulfur. If they are asking the oxidation state, what is the oxidation state of sulfur over here in this compound? Then we can better write this structure if we know, if we are able to draw this structure, we can draw this structure and we can say, see here, we have sulfur and we have 4 oxygen over here. So 1 oxygen, second oxygen, okay. Here we have third oxygen as well, and 1 oxygen having hydrogen, and here 1 more oxygen, one more hydrogen here. So this is the actual structure. So everyone are not very easily memorize the structures of all the compounds. So how we are going to write the oxidation state that time, that I will show you later. But here for this particular compound, this is the structure. So if you are seeing this structure, so here sulfur is having how many electrons they are taking in use for the formation of this compound? 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, 4 electron, 5 and 6. Total 6 electrons used by sulfur in this compound. So double bond they have formed with the oxygen. So this is the electron of oxygen. This is the electron of oxygen. And here is 1 electron of oxygen with the sulfur, and this oxygen next electron they are using with hydrogen. Okay, this is oxygen, both electrons they are using with sulfur. This oxygen, 1 electron they are using with sulfur, 1 electron they are using with hydrogen. Okay, and hydrogen is 1 electron. So this is how they are forming the electrons. So if you see, first with oxygen, we just complete the sulfur and oxygen. First I am completing this oxygen. See, so sulfur is sharing 1 electron with this oxygen. If you see the electronegativity difference between sulfur and oxygen, sulfur is less electronegative than oxygen. We know that after oxygen we have sulfur. As we are going down the group, electronegativity decreases. That means sulfur is having less electronegativity than oxygen. So the electron will move towards oxygen. So this 1 electron from this sulfur is given to oxygen. So minus 1, we got minus 1 of the oxygen, and after losing 1 electron, sulfur becomes what? Plus 1. After losing this electron, it will become plus 1 from this oxygen. Now after this oxygen, this oxygen, suppose here also they are losing the electron, sulfur losing the second electron. So again they are getting 1 more plus 1 after losing this electron. Now here in this sulfur again sharing the 2 electron with this oxygen. So 2 of these electrons are moving towards where? Moving towards oxygen only. So again 1 more plus 1, 1 more plus 1. And here oxygen get minus 2. Okay, this oxygen is also going to be minus 2, and again sulfur will get plus 1, right? So total how many plus we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Total 6 plus. That means oxidation state of sulfur over here is going to be plus 6. And oxidation state of this oxygen is going to be minus 2. This one is minus 2. This one is also minus 2. hydrogen is +1, this one is +1. So oxidation state of all the compounds we can understand by seeing the structure with the difference in electronegativity between the two atoms who are sharing the bond in the compound. By this method we can go and we can go for the oxidation state. By seeing this we can understand very easily. But one more method, by seeing any compound, if you are going for a calculative method, if you are going for a mathematical method, easily we can give the oxidation state of those compounds. Now we try to learn that method so that we can give the name for the, so that we can give the oxidation state for the given compound. So I will go for those compounds now. So I am just going for some of those compounds. Some of the examples I am giving to you now. Okay. So like this example already we did know. So that example only I showed you first. H2SO4 suppose sulfuric acid. So what is that method? If I need to go for the center atom oxidation state of sulfur, suppose they are asking. So oxidation state of sulfur, first take sulfur as X, assume it as X. Now what is the oxidation state of sulfur they are asking? So before sulfur we have hydrogen. How many hydrogen we have? 2 hydrogen. And we know that the electronegativity of hydrogen is less than sulfur. And electronegativity of hydrogen less than sulfur, that means they are going to be plus, they are going to lose the electron. So when hydrogen lose the electron, how many electrons they can lose? Hydrogen is having only 1 electron to lose. So 1 electron they will lose, and after losing this 1 electron they become +1. So normally we have +1 charge on the oxygen when they are having any bond with sulfur or oxygen. So +1. How many oxygen we have that kind? Sorry, how many hydrogen we have that kind? 2. So 2 into +1. And if I go for oxygen, how many oxygen we have total? 4 oxygen we have. And each oxygen is going to take how many electrons? Normally oxygen is going to take 2 electrons and becomes -2. So oxygen is normally having -2. So oxygen always going to be -2 because they are having high electronegativity. So here also they are against sulfur. That means they are going to take the 2 electrons from the sulfur and become -2. So such we have 4 oxygens. So 4 into -2. And is there any charge on the complex? Total charge? Is there any total charge? If I write total charge, which is no charge, so 0 I write. Calculate this. So here 2 into +1 2 plus x plus 4 into -2 is going to be -8 is equal to 0. Then if I take that side, -8 becomes +8 and +2 becomes -2, and it is going to be x is equal to +6. So this is the oxidation state of sulfur X, which is unknown. We have found by using this mathematical method. I will show you some more example. Like one more we have, suppose I am having one example like KMnO4. Suppose they are asking the oxidation state of manganese over here. So we are assuming manganese as X. So compared to manganese, potassium is having less electronegativity. So they are going to lose the electron. How many electrons potassium is going to lose? Atomic number of potassium is 19. That means 19 electron. So always they are going to lose 1 electron to become 18. Like argon, because they want to reach the electronic configuration like argon. So they are going to lose 1 electron. So potassium will lose 1 electron. So +1 charge should have, and total how many potassium we have? 1 only. And if I go for oxygen, 4 oxygen we have, and each one should have -2 charge. Because oxygen is having more electronegativity and each oxygen is going to take 2 electrons to reach neon. Like oxygen will take 2 electrons plus 2 electrons give rise to a neon configuration. So oxygen will get -2 charge. So in that way the charge on the oxygen is -2. How many oxygen we have? 4 oxygens we have. Is equal to, is there any charge on the complex? No, 0 charge. So again 1 plus x plus -4 into -2 is going to be -8 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 8 minus 1. X is equal to +7. So the oxidation state of manganese over here is going to be +7. In this way we can go for number of examples. One more example I will show you so that you will understand very easily. So here I am just rubbing this particular compound over here. So here I will show one more example to you so that you can understand easily. Suppose I am going for one more example. See, K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate, suppose. Like potassium permanganate we see in that manganese is having +7 oxidation state. Now I am showing K2Cr2O7. In potassium dichromate, if they are asking for the oxidation state of chromium, which is the central atom, normally they ask for central atom. So assume that central atom as X. How many chromium we have? 2. So it is going to be 2x. And potassium is going to lose the electron. How many electrons they are going to lose? Every time potassium is losing 1 electron to achieve the R1 electronic configuration. So plus 1. How many that potassium we have? 2 potassium we have. 2 into plus 1. Plus how many oxygen we have? 7 oxygens we have. And each oxygen will have minus 2 charge because they are going to take 2 electrons to reach the neon configuration. Is equal to, is there any charge in the complex? No charge. Then say 2 plus 2x, 7 into minus 2 is equal to minus 14 is equal to 0. So now if I take this 2 and 14 to the side, then 2x is equal to plus 14 minus 2. So 12 by 2, x is equal to 12 by 2 is equal to 6. So x is equal to how much? Plus 6. So this is the oxidation state of 1 chromium. Plus 6 is nothing but 1 chromium. Because we are getting x, we are not getting 2x. If I go for 2x, it is plus 12. But now here we are getting what we got? Plus 6. That means x we got. That is nothing but for 1 chromium. What is the oxidation state here we got? Plus 6. So for each and every compound, we can go for the oxidation state by using this mathematical method. But for some compound, like if I go for one example, that is also you must remember. So these are also very important examples which cannot give the proper result by using this method. Like suppose if I go for this example, OF2, oxygen difluoride. So in this compound, normally we are taking oxygen. If I go for oxidation state of fluorine over here, then I have to go for oxygen. Here I cannot take oxygen as -2. Here I cannot take oxygen as -2. Why I am not taking -2? Why it is so? We can understand. See, oxygen, fluorine. Here in this example, oxygen electrons are taken away by fluorine because now fluorine is coming in front of oxygen. So fluorine is more stronger than oxygen. This time oxygen is not taking one electron from fluorine, but this time they are giving the electron. So normally oxygen is getting what? -2 by taking the electron from any other element. But fluorine is the only element there. When they compete, they are going to lose. Now fluorine is going to take the electron of oxygen. So 1 electron from here plus 1, 1 electron from here plus 1. So here the oxidation state of oxygen is going to be what? Plus 2. And fluorine is taking one electron, it becomes what? -1. So if I go for that method, then I have to go for 2x fluorine. And before we have oxygen, so oxygen is going to be how many charge over here? 1 oxygen plus 2 is equal to 0. If you are taking -2, suppose, you are going to get the wrong answer. Because I know fluorine is having high electronegativity than oxygen, and if it is competing with the fluorine, oxygen is going to be plus 2. So that is why I am taking plus 2 for oxygen now. Normally we used to take -2 over there, right? So now it is plus 2. So plus 2 plus 2x is equal to 0. So it is going to be x is equal to -1 by 1 is equal to -2 by 2. -2 by 2 is equal to -1. X is equal to -1. That means for fluorine we have -1. The same way we can go for any other element also. So some elements are like this also will come. You must understand. One more I will show. In the same way we have one more example for oxygen where oxygen is going to show -1 as well. I will show that. Like we have this example. This is very important. Like this example if I am taking H2O2. And they are asking for oxidation state of oxygen over here. So if you go for oxygen taking 1 oxygen is equal to -2, like we have V2 over here. 4 oxygen we have and each oxygen -2. Here if you take -2, you are going to get the wrong answer again. Because in this compound the structure is like this: oxygen, hydrogen. Now this is the 2 oxygens we have. 1 electron of oxygen, another electron of oxygen. Second electron of this oxygen, 1 electron, second electron of this oxygen. And 2 hydrogen electrons we have here. 2 hydrogen electrons we have. Now see, oxygen, this oxygen. I say this oxygen, oxygen number 1, oxygen number 2. Oxygen number 1 is taking 1 electron from hydrogen. Okay. After taking 1 electron, they become -1. Fine. And this oxygen is also taking 1 electron from this hydrogen because high electronegativity. It is also becoming what? -1. Now what about this electron? Where this electron will go? whether this oxygen will take or this oxygen. No, both of them is having same capability, both of them is having equal electronegativity. So these electrons are as such, they are not moving anywhere because the strength is same. So these electrons are as such, they are not moving anywhere. So the total charge of oxygen having is -1 only. So now in this compound the charge on the oxygen is going to be -1. That means the oxidation state of oxygen is going to be -1. So here oxidation state of oxygen is going to be -1. So in that way we have to go for the answer for this particular compound. So this particular bond, that bond which we are seeing between the two oxygen, so oxygen oxygen bond whenever we are having, that bond is called as peroxide. If peroxide bond will come, then you need to check the oxygen, what charge you are taking for oxygen, what oxidation state you are taking for oxygen. So some of the compound wherever you are finding the peroxide bond, you must be careful. In the same way, if you are having the bond of oxygen with fluorine, there also you need to be careful. So if oxygen whenever is having bond with fluorine, they are losing the electron and becoming +2. If they are showing with any other compound, normally -2. If there any peroxide bond is present, then that time is going to be -1. Peroxide bond along with the fluorine, like O2F2 compound if I take O2F2 compound, same oxygen bond oxygen, in the place of hydrogen what we have? Fluorine. That time they will show +1. So these are the things which oxygen shows, which is different. So normally it is -2. This is normal. Every time you are going to get -2 only. But in some cases where fluorine are present, we are having +2 option also. And peroxide bond with fluorine, +1 also. If any peroxide bond with any other atom, then -1. So these are the things which is different for oxygen. So wherever the condition apply, we should remember those things as well. So this is what, and this is how we are going to calculate the oxidation state and oxidation or oxidation number we can say. So hope you understand. Try more example, apply this method and get the answer, get the oxidation state and oxidation number which is unknown for the given compound. If you are seeing the compound like KMnO4, K2Cr27, H2O2, H2O or any other compound, you just take example and apply this method, you will get the answer. Hope you understand. Again we will continue with the next videos which is quite helpful for you. Thank you.